Hello everybody, I'm delighted to welcome you all to our enrichment session. Learning new words is painful, but what if there was a secret code to help you learn the word just by looking at it? Our secret code is root word. Root words are usually Greek or Latin in origin, and hundreds of thousands of English words are made from these root words. So, this is like the secret code. When we learn a word, we just learn a word. But when we learn a root word, we learn a lot of words out of it. Let's learn about the secret code called the root to make a vocabulary shoot. Number 1, science. The root word science means knowledge. We often say that my conscience doesn't allow me to do so. Can we interpret this meaning? Yep. Conscience may relate to inner soul or your self-knowledge. Here in this word we have two root words, con and science. We have discussed that science means knowledge and the root word con means together. Thus, conscience means someone who is together with knowledge. That is someone who is aware about his own deeds. Thus, conscience is self-knowledge. Right? Can we differentiate conscience and conscious? Yep. We have discussed that conscience is self-knowledge, right? So, what about conscious? Conscious is a person who is completely aware of things, whatever is happening around. Conscious is being vigilant and alert. Thus, conscious means being aware. I think you have got the difference, right? Now, we will move on to the next word, omniscience. Here again we have two root words, omni and science. We know that science means knowledge and the root word omni means all or every. Thus, omniscience means knowledge of everything or infinite knowledge. Any word that starts with omni relates to every, like omnipotent, that is all powerful, omnipresent, that is something that present everywhere like air, God, etc. Omnivorous. We know that omni means all or every. And the root word vorous means food. Thus, omnivorous means eating every kind of food. Next, prescience. Here again we have two root words, pre and science. We know that science means knowledge and the root pre means prior. Thus, prescience means prior knowledge. Nescience. Here the root ni refers to know. Thus, nescience means no knowledge or being ignorant. If somebody doesn't have any knowledge, then he is nescient. Neuroscience. Here again we have two root words, neuro and science. We know that science means knowledge, right? And the root word neuro refers to nerves. Thus, neuroscience is knowledge of nervous system. The next root word is bon, which means good. Benediction. Here we have two root words, bene and dict. The word bene comes from the root bon, which means good, and dict. The root word dict means to speak. So, benediction is speaking good and an expression of good wishes or blessings. Benefactor. Here again we have two root words, bene and fact. We know that bene means good and the root word fact means to make or done. Thus, benefactor is a person who does good. Benevolent. We know that the root bene means good. What about olent? Yes, the root ol means wish. Thus, the benevolent means wishing good. A benevolent person wishes good or is generous and willing to help people. Bona fide, which means in good faith. Boon. The word comes from the root bon, which means good thing. We have many words like bon voyage, which means good journey. Bonsoir, which means good evening. Bon appetit, which means good appetite. I feel learning this root word is a bonanza for you. The third root is loc. The root word loc means to speak. Laconic. Laconic is an adjective for a person who speaks less. But whatever he speaks has very significant and a deep meaning. Thus, a laconic person means one who speaks less. Eloquent. The root word loc means to speak. Thus, eloquent means a person who speaks beautifully and he expresses his ideas clearly and well. Thus, eloquent means speaking beautifully. Soliloquy. This word is very significant part in Shakespeare's writing. The root loc means to speak and the root soli means solo. If somebody is speaking to himself, we call that as soliloquy. It is also known as monologue. Next, ventriloquist. We know that any word that ends in ist is an adjective. And the root ventri refers to stomach. So, ventriloquist is a person who is speaking from his stomach. Colloquial. We have two roots here. Loc means to speak and the root col means together. Thus, colloquial is an informal language spoken by all. This is a language spoken by everybody together. Circumlocution. Here we have two root words. We already know that loc means to speak and circum means obviously relates to circle, right? We can understand from the word itself. Thus, circumlocution means talking around, that is excess. If somebody is speaking round and round, that is he is beating around the bush. Loquacious, a person who speaks a lot. Okay, now we'll move on to the next root word, magn. The root magn means large or great. Magnanimous. Here we have two root words, magn and animus. We have discussed that magn means large or great, right? And the root word animus means mind or soul. Thus, magnanimous is any person who is kind-hearted or big-hearted, right? Okay, now tell me what is the antonym of magnanimous? Yes, pusillanimous. We know that the root animus means mind or soul, right? And the root pusil means tiny. Thus, pusillanimous is referred to coward or timid people. Alright. Magnify, to make large. Magnitude, which means great. When speaking of celestial objects, the magnitude of a star is how great its brightness is, right? So, magnitude means great. Magnum opus. Here again we have two root words, magn and opus. We have discussed that magn means large or great, right? And the root opus relates to work. Thus, magnum opus is a big work. that is the masterpiece. This is the basic pillar of all other works. Did you get me? Magnum opus means big work. Yes. Magniloquent, which means pompous language or bombastic. If a person who speaks large, that is, he is bragging about himself like an egotist. By learning this root word, you will become a magnet in vocabulary. I hope you found this video useful. When the root is deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. Similarly, when you are deep in understanding of the root word, there is no reason to fear about the vocabulary. Have a root to day.